and welcome to another episode of BrettCasts, What's New With. On this episode, there's some pretty sweet new Warhammer news to talk about. I'm going to be starting with what's new with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, because this is something that really caught my attention, and that I'm really looking forward to as well. So, what's new with Warhammer? In the Age of Sigmar Mortal Realms, dragons are back, and they're going to change the Mortal Realms forever. I love dragons, and I have painted a lot of D&D dragon miniatures, and so when I saw this news, I got very excited. Dragons, or Draconith, as they're known in the Mortal Realms, are back, and yes, as you can see, they are huge. As a mainstay of the world that was, and instrumental in the formation of the Mortal Realms and to Sigmar's place within them, the Draconith disappeared from the Mortal Realms after a certain end of empires stamped on all their eggs. And for a long, long while, that seemed to be the end. Now, with Sigmar's resurgence, two lost princes of that once magnificent civilization see a chance to return their order to greatness. The prince's affinity with Sigmar and the great cause of the Stormcast Eternals makes their arrival a great boost for the forces of order, who are still reeling from the effects of Be'lakor's dark shroud of magic and the emergence of Kragnos. The Draconith are about to put the grand alliances of death, destruction, and chaos on notice. The first one we have is Krondys, son of Dracothian, an integral member of Sigmar's inner circle. Krondys is majestic, wise, and immensely powerful. Already among the most magically potent beings in the mortal realms, Krondys also bears the regalia fulmentaris around his neck, a piece of armor that magnifies his substantial magical abilities. On his chest below his armor, Krondys is marked with the twin-tailed comet, a sigil that represents the alliance between Sigmar and Draconith. Filled with sadness and shame at the fall of the ancient Dracoith empires to which he is heir, it is Krondys' great hope that, in alliance with the Stormcast Eternals, his kin might once more rise to greatness. Next up is Karazari the Scarred. Finding himself without an invite to Sigmar's party, Karazari has been scouring Gur, seeking vengeance for himself and wreaking havoc on the forces of destruction. When a dragon spends too much time in the realm of beasts, though a little of that realm may also find its way into the dragon, and thus is that Karazari has become bitter and violent creature, all but consumed with wrath and revenge. There's then a bit on how they'll be really big, how detailed they'll be, that they'll be extraordinary centerpieces for an army, as well as fantastic painting projects, which is what they'd be for me. Personally, I'm a little bit worried about the price of these, as I know there'll be a lot. Given that the Stormcasts that come on Star Drakes cost around $156, I'm gonna guess that these dragons are probably gonna cost in the area of $150 to $200. Next, we have something new from Forge World. We have Lady Credo making her grand entrance in the seedy underbelly of Necromunda. Maybe she's disgraced, no longer welcome in the rarefied air of the ruling class. Perhaps she's looking for a little not-so-harmless excitement to assuage the ennui of her privileged life. Either way, she's arrived, and the Underhive will learn to fear her name. This rebel lord has had the best martial training and carries the finest weapons her family's money could buy. Pre-order from Forge World today. August edition of The White Dwarf will be digging into the 3rd edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. The era of the beast is upon us. Have you ever wondered what goes into creating a brand new range of exciting minis? The Warhammer Age of Sigmar designers spill all in this bumper section, which covers the ins and outs of the details and motifs for every model in the Dominion launch box. There is then a series of articles that covers the painting of all the new models at every level from beginner to professional. An incredibly in-depth designer's commentary shines light on how the team made Warhammer Age of Sigmar's newest edition the best yet. There's a thrilling battle report which sees Yndrasta and a warband of Thunderstrike armored Stormcast face off against the Cruel Boys in a retelling of the Battle of Amberstone Watch. In White Dwarf 466, High Fleet Leviathan arrived in the Octarius sector, landing on the harsh winter planet of Death of Bionzir. The Tyranids have rapidly adapted to the harsh climate, and a simple extermination has transformed into a grueling battle for survival fought by the Salamander's successor chapter, the Dark Krakens, in the second installment of Blood and Snow. Issue 467 features a comprehensive guide on how to bring the rest of Elethine's Soul Raid up to prized cabs level in Warhammer Underworlds, as well as tips to ensure Conan's Reapers can secure bones for the Tith. August's Glory Points then continues to take a look at how warbands are designed for Warhammer Underworlds, this time focusing on the objective and power cards that come together to make each warband play differently. White Dwarf number 467 is available to pre-order on August 14th, 2021, and will be on shelves August 20th, 2021. Finally, we have something new for the Black Library. The first wall sees two Master Artificers of the Legions face off in a pivotal battle over the Lionsgate spaceport. The mighty Rogel Dorn has to pull every trick in the book in order to mount an indomitable defense lest the traitor legions make a beachhead on the sacred soil of Terra itself. Leading the siege in Perturabo, Primarch of the Iron Warriors, more than a match for his brother Dorn. The resulting conflict is a horrible war of attrition. Gavthropes take on the tale of two brothers trying to outwit each other is the perfect stage for an epic conflict. Then there's a limited edition map of the Lionsgate spaceport. The full color map will be limited to 2,500 copies. And there we go. That's everything that's new in the Warhammer space. So that's all I have to say. So if you want to add to the conversation, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening, and goodbye.